Hi everybody. Um, so today I'm going to shift away from the murders of Xana, Ethan, Kaylee, and Madison and take a look at the Shanquella Robinson case. For those that don't know, she's a young lady that I believe went to Cabo, Mexico with her supposed friends and ended up dead. What I know about the case is that she got into a fight with one of those people on the trip. I believe there were 6 of them on the trip, and suffered a neck injury. So I'm just gonna pull some cards. What I want to know is how the injury happened. So I'm just gonna shuffle and see what comes out. I suppose I don't really want to know how the injury happened. I want to know why. Why did the fight occur? Why did Shanquella end up dead? And was this a planned murder? Positive movement forward and reversed, and emotional withdrawal. Okay, so that made me feel like something happened that I just heard that was unforgivable. So something happened and someone could not let it go. I feel like it's matters of the heart. I feel like Shanquella could, like, even before the trip, I feel like she could feel that there was an issue, but she just ignored it. It's like, I feel like it's more than one person in the group, but she could feel that the friendships were not the same. But I don't think she, like, the alarm bells were not going. The feeling I get is like she was so involved in her own life that she wasn't picking up on the red flags. Which is kind of similar to Xana. I'm feeling like they perhaps had the same kind of happy-go-lucky, optimistic attitude that makes them made them not so in tune or aware of what was happening around them in regards to their friends, supposed friends. Fertility in reverse and obstacles and challenges in reverse. Yeah, it's like unforgivable. We cannot get past what has happened. I just heard cardinal sin. So I feel like in the eyes of the group, Shanquella had done something that was absolutely unforgivable. I just heard the word she's a rat. So I'm not entirely sure what that means exactly. Like, my interpretation of being a rat is someone that speaks to the police and divulges crimes that have occurred, or becomes like a witness. I'm not really sure about that one. I'll have to look into that. If that's the case, then Shanquella had divulged some information that the group thought should have been kept a secret. Whether that be to the police or within the group, it's like something she should have kept to herself, in their opinion. Let's go on. Movement, choices, decisions in reverse. Prosperity begins. Yeah, bad decisions. I think it's bad decisions all around, to be honest. Base chakra in reverse. Movement, choices, decisions. Okay, so I feel like Shanquella was like backed into a corner. Like she was put into a position where she could not escape. I just heard blocked door. It's like they kept her in that room. She could not leave. And I also feel like the trip itself was a means to keep her confined. I just heard they tricked her. I feel like they tricked her onto the trip, gave her like a false reason to get her on the trip. Like this, I feel like this was definitely planned. I don't know if her death itself was planned, but I feel like the beating was planned. Partnership and alliances in reverse. Passion ignited in reverse. Yeah, like this friendship with this group was over. They knew it, but Shanquella did not know it. Look at base chakra in reverse, partnerships and alliances upright. They were not her friends going on this trip, but she did not know it. She thought they were her friends. Third eye chakra in reverse and partnerships and alliances. I think like as the trips began, she started seeing the abnormalities. Like that is when the red flags started going up for her, but it was too late. She's already confined to this residence and she can't leave. But I feel like immediately she started seeing that things were going south. And I feel like they intentionally made it so. It's like I feel like they tortured her. I feel like it started with the comments, and that led to feeling threatened, that led to the ultimate fight, that led to her death. It was like a slow burn. And I feel like they were all in on it. I feel like some more than others, though. I feel like they all kind of had an idea, but they were more invested in this than the others. Fulfillment of wishes. Discontent and boredom. So I feel like what they did was they knew that Shanquella really wanted to go on this trip. It was like an offer that you cannot refuse. That's what they did. They picked a place that they knew she would want to go. and then like hyped the plan up. It was, in her eyes, it was irresistible. It was an irresistible trip. Throat chakra in reverse, fulfillment of wishes. I feel like not once did Shanquella say anything. I feel like that was her nature, though. I feel like she had trouble sticking up for herself, which makes the rat thing seem so like unlikely. So maybe it's like they thought she did, but she didn't. I'm wondering if this is all based on misinformation, on assumptions. They killed her based on what they thought happened, not on what actually happened. Harmony in reverse and suffering in silence. I feel like they told her. They told her why this was happening. It's like she knew this wasn't a mystery. And look at that. Emotional loss in reverse, suffering in silence. And I feel like these cards represent her taking the beating. Yeah. I feel like she cried out, or she was crying, but I don't think anyone could hear her. Once I get off of here, I'll have to look at the location that she was in, because I feel like she was like crying, but she was like so isolated no one could hear her, like crying out for help. Patience and planning and moving on. To me, that's like the people that did this thought they were pretty slick with their stories that they told. I'm pretty sure that they thought they got away with it. Heartbreak and loss. Financial and material changes. I feel like there's money involved here. I feel like the group thought that she had divulged some sort of information that affected somebody's money. I thought this was going to be about love, but I don't think so. We'll see what comes out. Did they steal some of her money? I think maybe they took some of her money also. Like the group took some of Shanquella's money. Temptation. Third eye. Okay, Shanquella, I think was either a witness to something and potentially ratted, or they thought she did. It's like she saw something she shouldn't have seen. And then whatever came about from that affected someone's money negatively, which could explain why they stole her money. They took money from her. Somehow, some way. Okay, let's... Fulfillment of wishes. This makes me feel like Shanquella was full of, like, hopes and dreams. But I also feel like this was like a dream trip for her. Again, that's how they got her. I just like heard someone say that she was not gonna get what she wanted after she had destroyed someone's life. After I get on, and you guys let me know in the comments, I'm gonna have to check into this because this was revenge. For witnessing a crime and reporting it. That's what it feels like. It may not even be that she reported it. I think she did, but it may be just the simple fact that she's seen it to begin with. It's like we can't leave, we can't leave any witnesses. And I feel like this is like Shanquella was. I feel like she was like the good one. You know what I mean? So it's like whatever she knew or saw, I feel like they thought maybe she might report it and screw up the plan. Let's continue. Authority. That's the card that's gonna help her, and I feel like it's like the authorities in this situation are on the job. So I feel like she's gonna get justice instead of this just chalking it up to just another tourist suicide or just another tourist accident. There's actually going to be an investigation into her death. Light. That's what's hurting her, is what has happened is not clear, because I feel like even though the fight is on video, her death is not on video. Like her actual, like there's no proof that the fight caused her injuries. Could they have contributed? Absolutely. But proof. I feel like there's no proof. And I don't feel like anybody's talking that was involved in this trip. No one's talking. I just heard they're gonna get to the bottom of this. Keep hearing the word like circumstantial. Like, I'm not in the law profession, but I feel like this case is not gonna have a smoking gun per se. It's just gonna be a lot of circumstantial evidence, but it's gonna be enough. Suffering and silence. The feeling that I'm getting is like brewing under the surface until an explosion happens. It's like, I can't take this anymore. And I think that's what this was about. It's like, what the issue had been brewing under the surface and then just came out as an explosion. A planned explosion, might I add, but an explosion nonetheless. It's like this person had been, like this group had been waiting for this moment, just waiting for it. But I feel like just watching the video, there's a male voice on that video that says, Quella, fight back, or something along those lines. I feel like as the moment came, there was some regret there. It wasn't, the feeling was not what was expected. I feel like definite guilt. It's, the feeling I get is like, you deserved it, but I don't, while at the same time I care for you and I don't want you to be hurt. Which is a weird place to be. How do you, I guess it's like punishing your child. They have committed the offense. They deserve to be grounded for a week, but it still kind of hurts your heart to have to discipline. Similar? I feel like the voice on that film felt like Shanquella was like a sister to him, but he understood why what was happening, if that makes sense. I just like feel a feeling of like defeat. It's like Shanquella, I think, knew she was in a bad position and she just decided to let it happen. I feel like in her mind she's like, what, like, why bother fighting back? Like, they're here to kill me. So I feel like she just kind of let it happen. I feel like she didn't see the point. And I also feel like in her heart she feel like, what am I fighting for? Like, I didn't do anything wrong. Heart chakra. This might be about love in some form. Maybe she like said something about someone's boyfriend. But I do know, based on what's coming through that card, that she cared about those people that killed her. Which could also explain why she didn't fight back. Like, she had absolute caring in her heart for those people. But unfortunately, I believe that she was like in the wrong place at the wrong time, and she saw something that she should have not seen. Future partners and alliances. Showing what's interesting is like the people, if like the people that stand up for her, if only they had been a part of her life prior to her death. Because if they had been, maybe she would have not been in this situation. I feel like people are gonna stand up for her and get her justice. So it's like a complete switch. Like the people that should have been standing up for her in that video and who betrayed her are going to be replaced with people that care for her and her well-being, but it's too late. You know, she is on the other side. Um, Hopefully she's looking down and seeing that yes, she was cared for, and that there are people in the world. There are still good people in the world. I feel like what happened to her was like the ultimate of ultimate betrayals. And I feel like up until the trip, she didn't really know what was about to go down. That male voice, I feel like, that said that to her, I feel like that thought of him as like her true friend. And to let her just get beat up and then ultimately killed while he stands by and watches is just like the ultimate of betrayal. And I don't think it ended there. I think there's a point where she was like isolated but crying out for help and no one helped her. It's just really truly sad. Movement, choices, decisions. Yeah. I feel like Shanquella's seen something and her friends thought she should have behaved in a manner, but she behaved in the opposite manner. So whatever she saw, they thought she should have kept her mouth shut, but instead she talked. And for that, she had to be um, punished. Yeah, destiny. I don't know why that card, like I heard fate really loud in my head. It's like this was her fate. It's like everything just lined up for this moment. But it's like, why? Why did this happen? I think the mistake that Shanquella made was like once whatever this happened, once she's seen that event or she's seen something she wasn't supposed to see, she should have withdrawn herself. But what she did was she's continued on in the group. So maybe it's a learning lesson. It's like when something goes down like that, like the dynamics change. You know what I mean? Like when you see, I'm just gonna say someone get murdered, or you see your friend murder someone. At that moment, the dynamics in your friendship might change. You know what I mean? And that's what happened here, and Shanquilla didn't see it. And I think it's because of this. Heart chakra. She felt like these are my ride or die people. These have been my friends. These are my friends. Nothing has changed. But really, it did change. And that's what I think. Like, I just heard the word stubbornness. It's like, I feel like someone may have told her, like, if you keep riding with these people, you are going to get hurt. But she was kind of stubborn and set in her ways. Like, once she decided she was going to do something, it was very hard for, like, to get her to stop. So she made up her mind, these are my friends no matter what. But they weren't. They were fickle. You know what I mean? And again, it has to be said, be careful who you associate with. some people are not your friends. And if something happens, they will turn on you. And that's what happened here. And I don't even think that Shanquella did anything wrong. I honest to God feel like she was in the wrong place at the wrong time and seen something that she shouldn't. It's like you're minding your own business. The image I'm getting is like a girl walking into the room and discovering her boyfriend's in bed with another woman. Or even more, like your friend's boyfriend is in bed with another woman. You know what I mean? It's like you're just minding your own business. You didn't want to see that. You didn't want to know that. But you know, and then you told your friend what you had seen, right? That's what I think happened with Shanquella. She stumbled onto something that she didn't even really want to know or see, and then her hand was forced. But her friends thought she should have kept her mouth shut. Patience. I feel like this card comes out a lot when it comes to crimes. I feel like this is going to take some time to manifest itself. Outcome, rejoice, and celebration. Yeah, this is going to come to a resolution in Shanquella's favor. I'm going to clarify the temptation card. Yeah, you know what? Shanquella thought that whatever had happened was over and done with. It had been squashed. She had no clue that she was walking into an ambush. It's like she thought these were her ride or die friends who would have her back to the end. That's not the case. What did Shanquella see? She saw something. That 9 of Pentacles. I'm feeling drugs really strongly. I think she saw that someone was not making their money on the up and up. She saw an illegal transaction. She was part of a drug deal, something to do with money, some kind of scam, and it could be a robbery. Something negative involving money. I'm gonna pull another card and see what comes in. Yeah, I think she witnessed a robbery. She witnessed something negative that has to do with money, and I feel like it's a robbery. Did someone die? like maybe she was hanging out with the wrong crowd. Look at that. Devil came in again. Yeah, I think that she witnessed a robbery. And I asked if someone died, and the devil came out. I think that Shanquella was involved in a murder. She witnessed a murder, and they had to get rid of her. I think that's what happened. I think Shanquella witnessed a crime, and then they were afraid she was going to speak about this crime, so they killed her. Yeah. This made me feel like there was two people in this group that were like really about this murder. Like really pushed it forward. So, because it's like if 6 people go on vacation, are all 6 of them going to want to be a part of a murder? I don't think so. I think I think 2 people in the group of 6 were about this murder. And I think the other ones were just like fluff. You know what I mean? Like fillers. So I feel like 2 of these people planned this murder, and the other ones were just kind of like there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's some thieves in Shanquella's group. Seven of Pentacles. I feel like the people in this group, they didn't care about obviously they didn't care about Shanquella the way that she cared about them. I feel like she really cared about these people, and they didn't give a crap about her. I feel like her death was already a done deal before this even started. The trip, I mean. Yeah, I feel like this was just like, I almost feel like this is a fear-based thing, because I don't get the impression that Shanquella was going to say anything about what she had seen. But there was that fear. There was that fear there that she could. But I feel like Shanquella was extremely loyal. Extremely loyal. I don't think she would have said anything. It's like they had to make sure. her mother, look at Empress. Her mother's is the one that's going to get this thing done. Sad, the story. Look at that. Death came out with destiny. That trip was her destiny. It was to die on that trip. And I can't help but wonder, like, did she feel it? I feel like she knew once she was through the door and the trip had begun that there was trouble. Did she think she was gonna die? Most likely not. Dang. Eight of Cups. You know what these cards make me feel? She tried to leave. And maybe that's what the fight was about. I'm almost wondering if she was like getting in the shower to leave. Again, she should have pulled away from this group of people after whatever that incident was happened, but she didn't. Yeah, I think like she was trying to leave, and they had to stop her. Like when that video was shot, I think she was trying to leave. Pull another card. Pull another card for her. Yeah, Five of Cups. Yeah, she was trying to leave. I think at the time of that video, she was trying to leave. Like she had realized the jig was up. But they couldn't let her leave because her destiny was to die on that trip. Why? Because she had seen something. She was a witness. I feel like she was a witness to a robbery that went bad. Some kind of negative crime involving money. And they couldn't let her be a witness because whoever was involved, I feel like it was extreme jail time. I think I'm just going to pull one more card and then that's it. Justice. Yeah. Shanquella. I think she was a good person, and this group knew that. So whatever she's seen, the possibility that she would speak out about it, they viewed as high because she was just. And that is the end of my reading, and I'll see you next time.